Welcome to Moonstone Update. I'm Mark Beshard, Managing Editor of Moonstone Publications. Here's a look at some of the stories we've covered over the past week. But first, please hit the subscribe button, share this video with your friends and colleagues. Santam's Executive Head of Commercial and Personal Intermediated Business has issued a communication to brokers explaining why premium increases have become unavoidable. Andrew Coote said a multitude of drivers have significantly changed the risk environment and the frequency of claims. He put climate change and cybercrime at the top of his list of drivers of premium increases. The FSCA ended its 2022 financial year with a deficit of nearly 5 million rand after recording a surplus of more than 30 million rand in 2021, its latest annual report shows. The authority budgeted for revenue of more than 1 billion rand, but its total revenue came in some 69 million rand below target. Its accumulated surplus decreased slightly to 355 million rand. The authority's annual report also shows the number of authorised FSPs declined slightly between 2021 and 2022, despite the FSCA approving more FSPs this year. In terms of regulatory action, there was another marked decrease in phase-related complaints from consumers. Although the number of debarment cases opened by the authority decreased, the number of debarment orders it issued increased by almost 53%. The South African Reserve Bank's move to attach assets linked to former Steinhoff Chief Executive Markus Jooste comes 5 years after the Sarb told Parliament it was investigating whether Steinhoff had violated the country's exchange control laws. The attachment notices relate only to the suspected exchange control contraventions, not the purported Steinhoff fraud that ultimately wiped some 200 billion rand from the value of retirement funds and other assets. The South African Revenue Service came up way short of its commitment to resolve complaints submitted by the Tax Ombud within the agreed timeframe of 15 business days. The Ombud's latest annual report says more than 80% of complaints were not finalised within the agreed timeframe. Only 16% of complaints were resolved within 15 business days, while it took Sars more than 90 business days to finalise about 21% of the Ombud's recommendations. Membership of open medical schemes has not recovered from the impacts of the financial hardships on members induced by the pandemic and lockdowns. The Council for Medical Schemes' latest annual report shows that lives covered by open and restricted medical schemes increased by less than 1% last year. Restricted schemes continued their growth trajectory, but membership of open schemes declined slightly. The quality of health services in the country's public hospitals was deteriorating, and most hospitals will not meet the high standards required by national health insurance. The Health Ombud, Professor Malagapuru Makhoba, has told Parliament. Makhoba said the only province that seemed to have got its act together was the Western Cape, while the other provinces were experiencing difficulties and should be told to jack up their work. That's all we have for this week. You can read these stories and many more on our website moonstone.co.za. Until next time, here's wishing you all the best from the team at Moonstone Information Refinery.